Let's talk about it. You start transitioning into doing the Christian hip hop. You starting to connect with K Drama and other artists and other producers and stuff. Walk us through what that looked like for you, like just the transitioning of trying to come into the CHH space and start to write content for that, because it's totally different from just regular hip hop.
Yeah. So early on, my oldest brother, part of the story, my oldest brother was into Christian hip hop. So like we were in Houston, so like Grape Tree Records, New Wine, Little Rascal, all of these people, he was feeding me these CDs and I was like not trying to hear it. But then I heard New Wine and I heard Little Rascal. And so one of the very first experiences I had was meeting New Wine at a show. My brother took me to a show like on the southwest side of Houston, and I had a cassette tape. I had a demo of like these spiritual type songs, right? I was on the fence of whether or not I should do this thing. And he didn't want to hear it. He said he had enough artists at the time. That was enough fuel for me in that period in my life to say, man, forget Christian hip hop, man. All this, like I went back to what I was doing in the street or whatever. And then, fast forward to when I started getting into it, I knew that I was serious because I was getting rejected a lot. But I kept going. So one of my first encounters, like I said, was with K Drama, KJ52. I sent him the same CD I sent K Drama, and I didn't hear from him for months. Right? There was no response. So I'm just thinking, oh, you think it's whack? Same thing happened. There was this radio station in Oklahoma City. They played Christian rap in the morning, like it was a Saturday morning rap tune. I sent in my CD to them, never heard from them. I'm thinking the same thing. This guy just randomly runs into me at a shoe store. We start talking about Christian hip hop, and he's like, man, I'm the liaison for Kirk Franklin tonight at the Billy Graham event. He was like, let me take your CD and get it to Kirk. He took my CD. He called me with Kirk in the background. I go to the event. Of course, I'm listening to Billy Graham, but I'm like, man, this is happening fast, guy. Like, what I'm saying? I go backstage. Kirk is gone. Tate from DC Talk is walking me around from dressing room. This is all happening in 2003. He's walking me around from dressing room to dressing room looking for Kirk. Kirk's not there. Long story short, he got chased down by some fans. And, I never knew what happened to my CD. You know what I mean? So stuff like that was just over and over me trying to do it. So I was like, man, let me go back to the Houston thing. We just pressed them up ourselves, me and my brother. My brother gave me some money. He drew out his 401k. He had like a little gay job at NASA, and he had some benefits. He drew out some money. We pressed up some CDs, sent him to CD Baby, sent, the deal to K Drama, got on K Drama's mixtape. Once K Drama's mixtape came out, there was a song, and it was right around the time MySpace and all that was coming together. There was a song on there that really started kind of gaining some traction. And with the advent of like social media, it kind of started spreading to other people. And then cdbaby.com was out. So the music started spreading without me having to physically go places. So that was the first time that, like, because I was going to, studios and meeting people face to face. That was the first time to where I could just record and hit a button and get it somewhere that I've never been before. And so from there, like I said, people started hearing it and actually contacted me to do different things. They weren't necessarily in the Christian hip hop space, but they knew about Christian rap. And so they had me out. And, fast forward, KJ did have the CD. He lost it in moving, but found it. And he put me on Beat Mart Recordings. I don't know if y'all remember Beat Mart Recordings with Todd Collins.
Absolutely.
He put me on the first mixtape with Jafia, Rob Hodge, Victory, Jay Johnson, I think he was still Jay Silas at the time. And so all of these guys on this tape, when Beat Mart came out and the internet started bubbling even more, I started meeting some of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like KJ came to Oklahoma. I was able to meet him and Todd. So once the face-to-face started happening and you put a face with a name, I started getting out. Like that same year, I drove all the way to Cincinnati from Oklahoma to get with K Drama. I met his whole squad. We started collaborating more, and just the camaraderie of artists. You know what I mean? Like, especially those that, because there was no top tier artists. Of course, you had your like Goatee Records, Grits. You had, you know, Tonal Rats and LA Symphony. But they still, Cross Movement, of course, but they still weren't like so far out of reach. You know what I mean? Like they no, I'm sorry to even say I said so far out of reach. What did I say? People gonna think I'm taking shots. I'm not.
No.
Oh, no, you good.
I'm an MC. I'm sorry.
Right.
But they weren't. They were like on the ground level. Like Cross Movement was on the street preaching the gospel to people. It was like, what they're doing, I could do type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was still relatable to so it didn't feel that far away. And I was meeting some of these people. And so, yeah, things just started clicking and God started working even more in my life as far as my faith, to where I began sharing more of my story. Because for a long time, I didn't think that it was real. Like I was really, you know, like, man, I don't know if I'm really changed. Like, is this real? Is this for real? You know what I mean? And God kind of solidified that in me and confirmed that in me along the way through this music. And so, yeah, from there, man, it just took off.